Hi guys, let's talk about books. I don't have any book in particular I feel like reviewing right now, so I thought I could just bring up some discussion questions in my next few videos, since talking to you guys and talking about books is my favorite thing about these videos to begin with. So my first question is, do you write in books? I ask this question mostly because people are usually a little bit off-put by my answer, which is that yes, I feel free to scribble in the margins of pretty much all my books. That's not saying I do write in all my books, but that I'm not opposed to the idea of doing so. People seem to be surprised at this because I do value the beauty of physical books so much. But to me, that beauty only increases as the book is interacted with more and more, and that includes creasing the spine and dog-earing pages, and yes, even writing in the book, sometimes even with pen. I will make the disclaimer that there are some books I certainly won't write in, usually being hardcover books, most notably my Harry Potter American Edition hardcovers. I'm trying to figure out what led me to be more casual with my handling of books, and I'm not even really sure, except that I know I've been doing it for a while. In high school theology classes, I remember one of my teachers saying that your Bible shouldn't be pristine and untouched, but it should have scribbles and highlights and underlines and dog ears because you've been reading it and studying it so much. And for me, I heard that and thought sort of, why should that not be the case with other books that are also important to me? There are a few reasons which might spark me to write in a book I'm reading. First of all, sometimes I just really like a quote I read and I want to remember it. I want it to be clearly visible as I'm flipping through the pages so I can find it again. This was the case with The Long Loneliness, the autobiography of Dorothy Day, the founder of the Catholic worker movement, which I read recently over break. For example, on this page I underlined, "The joy of creativity should be ours," which is something I try to remember as I'm someone who likes to create things like videos and stories and crocheted stuffed animals. This too is the case with The Picture of Dorian Gray. Oscar Wilde has some of my favorite quotes, and I found so many of them as I was reading this book. I can believe anything, provided it is quite incredible. Another reason I write in books is a bit more academic in nature, and for this my example is The Catcher in the Rye. Some of my highlights in this book are just quotes I thought were entertaining, but many of them are me trying to figure out metaphors and get down to the bottom of what Holden is really saying. I mark every time he puts on or takes off his hunting cap, and in the back I have a list of all of the people who he tries and fails to have a conversation with. Of course, then we've got Harry Potter. I have these paperback editions so that I can write in these books because I don't write in my hardcover ones. Pretty much tore apart this copy of Deathly Hallows, just reading it really closely. I took this book and I marked my favorite moments and lines and pivotal scenes in the books, moments where the characters appear for the first time, moments of foreshadowing and also throwbacks to earlier books, and also asking questions about what certain lines meant. Every page in here has at least something on it. The most important reason I ever write in books, though, is best demonstrated through a book called I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith, a book which I also read over this winter break. I don't even really know if I want to talk about this book, as John Green says. Sometimes you read a book and it fills you with this weird evangelical zeal and you become convinced that the shattered world will never be put back together unless and until all living humans read the book. And then there are books which you can't tell people about, books so special and rare and yours that advertising your affection feels like betrayal. I Capture the Castle falls into this latter category for me. This book is pretty much my soul and essence in novel form, and it was really beautiful for me to get to read that. I really believe that reading a novel is a conversation between the author and the reader, and sometimes while reading this book there were things that I wanted to say back to Cassandra the narrator. So many of her thoughts I felt like were my own thoughts, and so it just felt like I was thinking, and there were things I was thinking I wanted to respond to what Cassandra was saying, and I did so in the form of notes in the margins. I know that reading this book would not have been the same experience for me had I not allowed myself my own part of that conversation between the author and the reader. So those are all the examples that I have for you today. Please share your thoughts about writing in books in the comments, whether you do it yourself, whether you think that it's disrespectful toward the books, which I know a lot of people feel. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say, and until next time, see ya.